We gotta give that poor shrimp a halo.
I honestly, if I was a better illustrator, I'd give him like a little like open face helmet. But I couldn't figure out how to do it with the eyes. There's a lot going on. Hello.
You gotta have the eyes like coming up above the helmet.
Yeah, but then like, how does that protect him? Anyway,
I mean, it's not about practicality, or else he wouldn't have an open-faced helmet.
Hi, welcome to Shrimp Hours Presents episode 6.
Yeah, go ahead, change the subject, DT. Good,
6
good
for
story.
bread. We're doing a podcast here. I have to tell the people.
And we're on 6?
Yeah.
Yeah, 6.
Is that
baby.
officially more
6 for Brad.
shrimp hours than like real outlaps?
Yeah,
I believe
I think we had 6 or
That's
7.
cool.
I think
I wanna
all-
say-
you had to
I
have a
think-
condensed, highly organized, highly motivated group.
Well, real quick, before I even introduce ourselves, I gotta thank the viewers because we have like maintained pretty much the exact same number of viewers since episode 2, which is good. We're not dying. Well, except this is the last episode. But either way, I'm your host, DriveThrough.
Seeing you.
With me this week, we got everyone really. Cody's here, Ed's here, Slappy's here, Rusty's here. How we doing? Hopefully this one isn't gonna be over an hour long, but we'll see.
I'll give it 25 minutes.
It'll definitely be over an hour long.
We literally sit here and we're like, oh, we can talk for like 20 minutes, and then it's an hour and a half later, and we've got a hefty
And then
ass
somebody mentions
podcast.
the Ramada Hotel in Winston-Salem, and it's all downhill from there.
Somebody dies.
First segment on our list, it is time to predict the future. We have 3 predictions to make. We're going to try and run through them pretty quick. First of all, there's NASCAR drama. Larson versus Elliott. Teammates clashing. Chase is pissed because Larson won for the second time this year, and both times he's bodied Chase out of the way to do it. So is this your prediction, fellow hosts? Is this going to boil over, or are they going to figure it out?
Rick Hendrick's usually pretty good about killing this sort of beef in the cradle. You know, remember when Jimmy Johnson and Chad Knaus were like sniping at each other at the end of the 2004 season, and he brought them both into his office, had a plate of cookies and 2 glasses of warm milk. Cause like, you want to act like fucking children, I'll treat you like fucking children. And then
Holy
that
shit.
squashed the beef, and like 2 years later they won the championship and like riffed off 5 in a row.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be like he's pretty good about like owning everybody's souls. Exactly, like everybody's just terrified of him, from what I can tell. Like I don't see Chase Elliott.
And
as
now
the
he
kinda
has
guy
Jeff Gordon in his corner too. Like,
Yeah.
Jeff Gordon's not gonna put up with that shit.
It's like level-headed
Yeah.
Vanilla City over there now too. So they're just gonna like. I don't see it. I don't see it getting down and dirty.
And they were waiting outside the 9 car when he pulled up on pit road. Like, they were like already preemptively like planning this. Like, it was weird. That was weird.
Very sus.
Wait, what do you mean? When were they waiting outside the pit
Like,
box?
Chase hops out and both Rick and Jeff are right
like
there.
right
Like,
after, yeah.
yeah, coaching
yeah,
him and
yeah.
telling him stuff. Chase was like kind of, I mean, you can tell he's frustrated. It's normal, but like,
I don't
Why
care
was-
if you're Bill's boy. I'll break you.
That's probably why he didn't talk any shit in the interview.
I'll send you back to the pool room in a box.
All right, there we go. We predicted the future. Larson versus Elliott.
Yeah, they got settled.
It's like universally, there's not going to be any beef. They're going to squash that shit.
They're gonna get intimidated out of it. All right,
Old
next
man.
up, Project 91 Trackhouse made their debut last weekend. Kimi Räikkönen was actually running incredibly well, like legitimately in the top 10, even if he was on the Joey Hand strategy, and then kind of got stacked up and taken out. But there's been more and more interest from other drivers who want to race Project 91. What are your predictions for the future of Project 91? Is it going to expand? Are other teams going to start like saying, "Hey, what's up?" to IndyCar drivers or F1 drivers or other people? What do y'all think?
But yeah, I think that's inevitable. I think you're going to have like, I mean, if they allow a 5th team to pop up for like 3 races a year or whatever, you know, Hendrick is an obvious choice. But I think Fernando Alonso has already talked about getting his toes in a lot of different pools and stuff. So I think he's like another easy draw in for a Project 91 or anybody who wants to have, you know, an extra team like that.
I don't know if Alonso's allowed.
Why is he not allowed?
I'm pretty sure he's not allowed to race other cars under his contract because he could like injure himself or something. That's why he goes go-karting all the time.
Oh,
There's something like that
he
going
used
on.
to do like, you know,
I might be wrong.
some endurance racing and Formula One part-time and IndyCar. So maybe that'll change later.
He did all that stuff when he wasn't racing F1, but I don't know.
I thought he was doing like F1 like at a part-time or filling in for somebody, and he was also doing like IndyCar and other BS.
I don't think we'll really have to worry about that too bad though, because it seems like this project, at least for the early stages of it, is kind of going to attract like the lower levels and the washed F1 drivers of the world. Is kind of what I'm getting. At least at first, like I don't foresee Lewis Hamilton or like Max Verstappen jumping in this thing anytime soon. So I think you're going to get the Nico Hulkenbergs of the world in this thing.
I think it's a great marketing stunt. Like I don't know how they worked out this relationship with Kimi, but like if they cut the check to get these like superstars.
Kimi.
You heard the man.
Kimi.
Oh my god. Okay,
Sorry. Continue.
I don't know if they're cutting the check to get these high profile names in the car to kind of attract sponsors, dollars, whatever it is. So maybe they can just like offer up a dollar to get anybody in that car. I think big picture, it's brilliant. I mean, so I don't think it's just like, I don't think Kimi is just showing up to race for fun. I think they had to cut the check and based off kind of what I heard from Dorban Peculiar, but it's like I think it's a really cool marketing stunt to elevate their program, and he's doing things differently than pretty much everyone else. So I'm really excited to see what they can do with that 91 car. And I'm a big Daniel Ricciardo fan. It sounds like he's not going to be driving much next year. I would love to see him do anything.
That's the name I was going to say. Yeah.
I want him in IndyCar, NASCAR, whatever he wants to drive over here in America. I'll fly. I'll buy a ticket. I want to see it. Yes, I want to see it. I want to see Ricciardo over here.
I feel like he wouldn't do something like 91 though. I feel like Ricciardo would jump into something either like more races per year or maybe even full time. He's supposedly going to get paid a lot of money next year by McLaren to not race in F1.
Well, listen, there's a lot of pay drivers already at Junior Motorsports. Why not stick him in there? Or something?
Oh god.
Hey,
well, speaking of
What?
I'm jumping ahead. Speaking of predicting the future, who's going in that 9 car? I need to know.
That's a good thought.
I never thought about
actually.
this.
You know what? That's my call.
I have a prediction.
Okay.
I think it's Raja. I saw him at the Hendrick shop doing pit stop practice.
Hey yo.
I feel like Raja's going to the 9 car.
In the 9, that's a big old step.
Mm.
That'd be sweet.
Chevy's throwing money around. Raja to the 9.
Why not?
All right.
Why not? Why not?
All right. That's solid. So we got either
Why-
Raja
well, so it'd be
Carruth or Daniel Ricciardo, apparently.
That's quite a spectrum right there.
Yeah.
Or anyone in between. Take
Is
your
anyone
pick.
getting like kicked out of Cup next season? I'm trying to think of like who. I don't even know who's on the table for
Cole Custer?
JR.
No, Cole Custer's confirmed
No, Custer's
for next
good.
year.
Is he?
Yeah, his dad works at Haas. He'll be all right.
He's confirmed for 2023.
Alex
Yeah.
Bowman might be hitting the road, whether he wants to or not.
Where's he been? I feel like I say this every week. I haven't seen Alex Bowman on the racetrack in about 3 to 4 months.
Can we make a segment where we just check in with Alex Bowman? every
Where
week?
is Alex Bowman?
Yeah, what's he doing?
Is he still alive, or is he a figment of somebody's imagination?
All right, tune in next week for the "What Did Alex Bowman Do This Week" segment.
Alex Bowman X Files.
All right, last thing for Predict the Future. NASCAR did a little test at Martinsville, and they've decided that they don't want to pull or mess with the under tray or the aerodynamics of the cars at Martinsville. And I think what Bob said is he said they don't really want to throw a bunch of unknowns in a playoff race and mix it up too much and make the teams sort of refigure out everything.
As opposed to them having the final cutoff race be at Daytona.
Yeah, speaking of
unknowns.
Talladega,
Yeah.
and Talladega is a round ender.
Tear up millions of
Yeah.
dollars.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Damn.
who cares
There you go.
about
Checkmate.
unknowns?
Was Daytona the last regular season race last year? Or is this the
Yes.
first year of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
This is the
That
second
was the
year.
last 2 years, wasn't it?
I can't remember. I can't tell you for sure.
Time is hard.
Yeah, it was all a
COVID era was
blur.
goofy. Yeah.
2020 just feels
Either
like it
way.
didn't exist.
But this whole call with like the Martinsville, the gear ratios and no under tray, that's all just this year. They're not doing that. Next year they're talking about doing that, right?
Yeah. But I know there was some discussion a few months ago about maybe doing it for this year, but
Hey, I was at the
Sounds like we'll
Martinsville
get
race. I
another,
enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I like the Greenville, green flag pit stops, not Greenville.
the Greenville pit stops.
Yeah, the green
Greenville
flag pit
Pickens.
stops. I liked the fact that some guys were on some different pit strategies and they were like out there just booking it, just flying past people. I'm sitting there with like Trace Ryder in the stands, we're like looking at each other like,
Shout out Trace.
This guy's like 2 laps down, but he's like blitzing past William Byron, the leader. Like, what's happening? I was like, he's on a different pit strategy. He just got new tires, and he's just out there just blitzing everybody. So it's kind of like Darlington when it's old and worn out, and you change tires and you gain like 2 seconds on everybody. I thought the longer that race went on, the more interesting it became, even without all the wrecks and everything. And I think the fact that it was so goddamn cold that night probably played a lot into it too. It was like 38 degrees. It was snowing that day. It was awful, and it was delayed due to like sleet and snow and all this stuff. So that probably had a lot to do with it. We'll see how it looks this fall.
Yeah, I know we've discussed this before, but there is something to be said about watching a race on TV versus in person. I mean, we're all at the Road America race, or most of us, and yeah, we had a good old time there, but I mean, on TV,
I'll say this: I was at
the
the Texas All-Star race. That race fucking sucked. I was there.
Texas is another level.
Being
all
in
the way
person,
across the
there
board.
was no saving that race. It sucked.
I'm sure the people who were at Watkins Glen this week like that race. Dude, I'm
in the world that could save it.
I have beef. I'm upset. They pulled a friggin' Monaco F1 at Watkins Glen this week, where it was pouring rain. It was going to be a cool, wet start, and it was maybe a little bit intense. And then they sat around for 30 minutes, dried the whole track, and then that was it. They ran like 5 laps on wet tires. Like I understand like maybe delaying the race because it was kind of dangerous, but they just went way too far with it, and it was not a wet race. I was promised wet NASCARs, and I got damp drying track for 5 laps and then a dry race NASCAR.
It was like 2 years ago they had the Xfinity race at the Charlotte Roval where it was like in an absolute deluge of rain,
at
like standing
night
water
with
all over
no
the place.
lights in the infield.
Yeah, at night, like they didn't give a fuck, and you're like all of a sudden you're telling me like, oh no, the track has to be like there's a little bit of standing
Coda.
water over here. It's like, well, tell them to go to the outside, do the Dale Jr. approach, put a fucking traffic cone out there and tell them to work it out.
If they'd have just waited like 10 minutes, I think it'd been cool, but they like waited half an hour, dried out the whole thing, and it was
Kimi Räikkönen was talking on the radio. It was like, yeah, if we want to get rid of the standing water, like put us out there on pace laps and we'll push it out of the way, and then we'll do like 5 laps under pace laps and then turn us loose.
I'll be back in 2 seconds. I just gotta grab some.
It's the exact same thing that like I'm not editing that.
Me seeing it. You man just did.
I'm curious what it is.
Why did he do?
No.
You should. Oh
Hey,
my god!
You probably ordered another pizza that's going to open up as a sub.
I gotta ask Cody about that. Cody. Hold on.
Oh, my God, plug back in. We gotta
Cody,
get
I have a
him plugged
question
back
for
in.
you.
What's up?
So you know he ordered that vegetarian pizza the other night and then they gave you a sub instead? When you called them and they eventually brought the pizza, did you have to give the sub back?
I don't think I had to. I just did because I wasn't gonna eat it.
Oh my god! Why didn't you just keep the food?
Yeah, just keep it. Have it
It's
go
a
to
free
waste and
sub.
get moldy in my
Free
fridge.
sub. Not
It's a sub. Just eat
Because
it.
by the time it got
For a
to the
night.
next morning, when I would have been hungry again, it would have been old and soggy and nasty, and I wouldn't have wanted to eat it.
Put it in your
No, dude, this is
fridge.
like a sub from like a pizza place, dude. It's
my
gonna be good till the
No, it
end
had,
of
like,
the universe. They put
At
some
least 5 years. Yes.
I'm just gonna tune you guys out.
No, dude, no.
sandwich.
I've had Jersey Mike's and Jimmy John's subs for like 2 days sitting in the fridge. They're just as good. We want to know why? Because they put the good old fashioned American preservatives in there. That shit that stays in your fucking biological ecosystem for ages.
Will you at least say, Cody, what the heck you were doing just now in the middle of my podcast?
Yeah. What was
Have
Cody
the
doing?
audacity to
I just
leave?
plug in the proper SD card for my camera from this past weekend, so I can look up what is hopefully going to be the crash of the week for that.
Oh, all right.
So yes,
All right.
I was doing
I respect
podcast
it.
related things.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Convenient excuse.
All right, that was Predict the Future. Next up on the list, I'm very, very excited to introduce Animal Planet this week because the Ben sent in a theme song that he wrote and produced, and
Did
we
he
now
sing
have an Animal Planet, and he sang it. We have an Animal Planet theme song.
Oh my goodness.
I'm the only one who's heard it. These four guys haven't.
Oh my goodness.
I'm so excited.
Dude, Ben knocked it out of the park. It's so good.
10 out of
We
10.
love that.
Yeah,
Shout out to
Holy
Ben.
crap.
That is beautiful.
The horse neighing, the ivermectin horse.
Of course.
Jesus Christ. This isn't that kind of podcast. Not yet, at least. All right. Animal Planet is a segment where we talk about animals at racetracks. So if any of you have been to a racetrack last week, have you seen any animals?
Yeah, sure, I'll start. On this week's edition of Animal Planet, I just want to give a shout out to anyone who in the year 2022 is still going into public restrooms and walking out just without washing their hands at all.
Animals.
Nice.
Dude, I saw
Nice.
so many dudes doing that this
and
weekend.
it's, I don't know if they were raised without proper hygiene like taught to them, or if it's some sort of like political statement, but please wash your hands. It's not that hard. It takes you 30 seconds. It's not that difficult. You soap, you lather, you scrub for 30 seconds, you rinse, boom, dry.
Hey, to be fair, the soap dispenser 99 times out of 100 is fucking broke.
And the hand
But
dryer,
at
the
least
automatic hand
give
dryer
them a
too.
rinse. Like, come on. You can shake it out after.
At Martinsville, they had the hand dryer. They had like no soap running. They had the hand dryer. It's like 38 degrees. I wasn't about to like make my hands icy cold, so I just put the gloves back on, and I'm just sitting there.
Do we got an animal? Do I have an animal below me? Is that what I'm
We
doing?
have an animal on the
It was 38
podcast.
degrees
Wash your
outside. The
hands.
fucking germs had
Wash
nowhere to
your-
go. They died.
Oh no, hand
Wait,
wash
whoa.
and slap down here.
Did you just
This is a
admit-
post-COVID world. You gotta wash those hands, bro.
Yeah.
No. It builds the immune system, man.
Oh my
Builds the immune
God.
system.
Is that what he calls it?
Slap, you might be an animal. We found one.
I had gloves. Fuck
Slap
you.
exposed.
Listen,
Dude,
after
he
the
puts
salad
those-
pizza, and now this, we might have a problem here.
And he's putting his fingers in the Vienna sausage can.
And those same,
Oh my God.
that
It was different.
and let me guess.
Special set of circumstances.
Let me guess. You put
No,
those same
it was
gloves
no
back on. You walk up to the concession stand. You're like, "Hey, can I get some hot dogs, please?" You hand those bills with those unwashed hands to the lady. Then she takes them. Now she's got unwashed hand dollar bills all over her that she's then sending to everyone that she hands food to.
This is how a pandemic
Do you
starts
see-
right here, ladies.
Do you see, Slap? Do you see?
Slap, if you touch me at a racetrack again, I swear, we're gonna have
No,
problems.
it was 38 degrees. The germs couldn't go anywhere.
Okay, at Road America, did you
cold.
wash your hands?
Yes, because the soap dispenser worked.
I've been to maybe 2 tracks in this entire
And they
year.
had
I've been to-
towel dispensers, and and it was nice and warm, so the air
Wash your
dryer
hands.
actually worked,
I
and
don't
you could
hear
actually dry yourself
excuses.
off and
I
everything.
don't care
Animal.
how warm it is. Wash your hands.
According to my tally, I've been
See,
to
my
30
hands when it's 38 degrees outside, my bare ass is sitting on a fucking aluminum.
I've been to
bin.
37 tracks this year. I think maybe 2 of them didn't have any soap in the bathroom, so that's not really a valid excuse.
Bring some hand sanitizer. too.
Exactly.
That's the play. You gotta get some hand
Exactly.
sanitizer. This is
Or just don't be an
2022.
animal. Like, just at least scrub them and wet them and dry them. Like, oh,
I mean, yeah, even just some
Christ.
water is better than
Not
nothing.
when it's freezing fucking cold outside.
freezing
That-
cold,
Oh
38.
my
It wasn't even warm.
38
it was literally
is
just
freezing
blowing
cold.
lukewarm air onto your hands.
I'm gonna need you to nut up a little bit.
I'm gonna need all the
38 is
viewers
freezing cold.
light up
No,
Slap in the
no.
comments. What an animal! Jesus Christ!
No,
Can you tell which one is
Send
the
your-
southern boy when he's talking about 40 degrees being freezing cold?
Yeah.
Send
what the
your
hell is
slap
that
shoes
shit?
hate mail. ShrimpHoursPresents@gmail.com. him. Tell him to wash his hands. Send
Fuck
it in. We'll read
everybody,
it.
man.
Yeah, look at those unwashed birds flipping us off.
No, when I don't risk hypothermia, I wash my fucking hands when it's warm outside.
Hypothermia.
When it's fucking 38 degrees, I'm not gonna wash my hands.
38.
Bro, 38 isn't even freezing. 38 is above freezing.
Man, they're gonna have the EMTs there trying to revive you and get you warmed back up from that
You
hypothermia.
fucking Midwesterners, where unless it's 16 degrees outside, like it's already fucking cold outside. I'm
just like
like
that,
Martinsville. It's 38 degrees. It's fucking at night. The fucking air dryer isn't even warm.
If you're wearing jeans and a
I'm
coat,
wearing gloves. I'm not going up to the concession stand. I'm not doing any, I'm not interacting with anybody. I got my own drinks, whatever. Put the gloves back on.
If you've ever shared the same air with this man, I feel bad for you. Let me just put that out there.
I shared a tent with this guy. Hold on.
Oh my god.
you shared Vienna sausages.
Tons of meat.
Oh
with
my
tons
God.
of
You
meat.
shared tons of meat.
I just love the idea that like there's a threshold on a thermometer at which Slap is like,
Yeah,
that's
sure.
too cold. I'll just be an animal today.
Yeah, exactly. I'll own it. It's too fucking cold. The air dryers don't even fucking work because they're not heating you up or anything. They're not trying to evaporate the fucking water. And I'm just like, you know what? Gotta make a call here.
All right, so the animals are any tracks that don't have working soap or hand washing equipment. At any other track where that's not excuse, Slap is the animal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only
If
when
you-
it's
if you-
cold out.
If you don't wash your hands, you're an animal. Look, I know we're supposed to pick the title of the show at the end of the show, but this is Shrimp Hours Presents Wash Your Hands.
Yeah,
Wash your hands.
Correct.
Might be
That
it.
might stick.
It was too fucking cold. Fuck you.
That is not an excuse, dog.
It is an excuse.
No, it is. It just simply is not.
Fucking out there. There's snow on the fucking grid. Fuck all of y'all.
There's not
I'm
snow in
leaving.
the
I'm
sink.
leaving. I'm going to bed.
Bro, snow is not attacked. Oh my god. Snow.
Turn your
not
camera
attacked.
back on.
Right.
Germs. You turn that cam on.
You messed with my whole layout now. Look at this.
Mm.
There we go.
Animal.
Is that the first storm off in podcast history here?
Yeah, that was our
yeah.
first walk off. It's a Shrimp Hours.
History will vindicate me.
There you go. All right, we'll see about that one.
I don't know. I'm excited to see these emails. Remember,
Yeah, I'm not
tell
sure about
Slap
that
to
one,
wash
dog.
his hands. Shrimphours
I'm
Presents at
building people's
gmail.com.
immune systems. The weak will struggle. The strong will survive.
And the animals won't wash their damn hands. All right, that was
one
Animal
case
Planet.
of E. coli at a time.
All right, next up, we have the newly named Drip or Drown. This is where we talk about NASCAR paint schemes and whether they're drip or whether they're drowning. Not a lot of nonsense this week at Watkins Glen. There's actually some cute race cars. I have two picks for possibly bad looking paint schemes. Number one,
Yes, thank you.
Yep.
this thing
Thank you.
sucks.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
not-
it's kind of a good concept on paper, but in execution, it just doesn't.
It's
work.
not
And I
bad.
love powder blue too. Powder blue can be great if you do it well.
Yeah, powder blue with the gold
Yeah.
highlights could work really well, but there's like all this open space, like
Dude.
beyond the ribbon and the quarter panel. Like, what the fuck?
If they slid the ribbon and the number back where it should be, and they put those other little decals in the contingency spot, this thing would be hot.
But they can't do that.
I don't know why. Why is the ribbon so far up? Couldn't they just make it take up all that space there? Either way, the thing that I hate most about this is I used to run this, and this thing was hot. A rare,
I
like,
don't know.
good
That
Chase
looks like an
Elliott scheme.
Xfinity scheme for some reason with the fucking streaks.
It kind of does. It looks like they kind of did one thing and then didn't do anything else, but it's better than this.
Still looks pretty badass.
I feel like
I
that
just
would look
think
better on a next gen too.
yeah, if they shifted it back, it'd be way better.
Drown.
That's fair. So we getting a drown?
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
drown.
Yeah.
Drown.
All right. The other one I've
Seeing
got is this. This isn't from this race, but he ran this car at Watkins Glen. What is this? Reese's Fine Foods on the Truex car, which is just.
Well, he ran the same scheme when it was like the Gen 6 with the numbers in the middle, and it looked great because it had
Let's see
that
if I can
big.
find a picture of that. But yeah,
Yeah, he ran this in 2021, and it looked perfectly fine. He even had the logo kind of right before the quarter panel. It was a big thing, like right behind the number.
Boy. Yeah.
And it looked hot as fuck. And that was like one example people put up saying like, hey, we don't need to move the numbers forward. You just have to get creative with your placement and everything.
Yeah. They had a big tub of potato salad. Yeah, there it is. Big tub of potato salad.
There's a tub of potato salad.
I gotta see if I can find a better picture from the side, but
they worked on this game for 3 days, man.
Oh, Jesus Christ! All right, there's an image.
Oh yeah,
he's small.
Yeah, this new one sucks. The white on the top doesn't do anything. The blue line, why?
That's weird. That's drowned.
Weird. And then it's like Reese's Fine Foods, #Let's Eat. They got potato salad and then Bass Pro Shops, like between stuff from Reese's.
Is the blue line on the render or like the paint scheme preview? Because I'd almost say like that looks like a fucking wrap like error.
Well, I mean that's the whole line that goes across the whole ass side of the car. I wouldn't say that's a wrap error.
I don't know.
I mean, this isn't 23XI wrap.
With the Toyotas, you never know.
Yeah, that's true.
The way the Toyota.
That one doesn't offend me so bad. Maybe without the blue stripe.
Like, imagine if the blue stripe wasn't there and the top was black. Like, honestly, this in the all black was kind of cute. Little red roof and the red across the bottom, and now it's
I still don't mind the two-tone top though.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind.
I'm not a fan.
Well, to be fair, like to kind of wrap this up, I feel like everybody at Watkins Gun this week brought a solid paint scheme.
Yes. I feel like maybe for future episodes of Drip or Drown, I should pick some favorites as well. I don't have a whole lot of time to dig through all of them, but I think next time we'll pick some favorites.
The Trackhouse schemes are always badass.
Oh yeah.
It was Stenhouse from this week. He had that like ballpark hot dogs car. They kind of that looked all right.
Dude, those
but he had some alcohol on the hood. It was a weird one. Do I gotta pop this up? Hold
it's
on.
weird. The JTG cars look cool, except they do that weird, we're gonna push the logo down on the hood on purpose thing, but it just makes it look stupid.
Yeah, and then we're gonna put like 1,000 like smaller decals all over the fucking car for some reason.
If you look at the side of a JTG car, they look sick.
The 2 car. I'm gonna.
The 6. Oh,
all the pictures this week are from the front, which kind of sucks.
Because it's all from the same camera, and they looked like he was at the top of the S's, just taking the same shot.
What are we looking for?
At least
47.
47. That's right. I have a little scroll.
Can we talk about how sick that Sirius XM car was?
Yeah, it was pretty solid.
This 47 is weird because the ballpark side is sick and the whatever alcohol on the hood was sick, but they didn't. It was just kind of 2 different cars cut right on the fender.
It kind of works.
I kind of like it.
I like it.
It's not bad. It's good for a 47.
If the logo on the hood was lower, it'd be nice.
And
oh God, look.
They wrap the side skirts, which is kind of based. So.
Yeah, bonus points.
I also want to say, since it's in frame, that Focus Factor car might be my favorite primary this year.
Yeah, that's a cute one. That is.
I still don't know whether Focus Factor is like legit.
It's a bunch of hoopla.
All right.
No,
I don't care about the company. I'm just talking about the paint scheme.
I saw something in St. Louis on TV. I think it's like literally saw the product, so it's a thing.
It exists.
And that's actually been like a consistent primary. He's been running that car like the majority of the year. I miss like the identifiable cars where like a car that someone would run the majority of the year.
Yeah.
Now with all these like different associate sponsors and the paint scheme changing every week, it's hard to identify the drivers, especially if you're younger or not as like expertise at the sport.
Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why all the kids like Alex Bowman, because I can't figure out any other
reason. Or
reason.
Chase Elliott, because he's running the Napa car a lot too.
Okay, for example, we're probably getting ahead of ourselves here, but like when you think of Ross Chastain, what paint scheme do you think of? I struggled with this because he doesn't have like a sponsor.
Advent Health Watermelon would be the first one that comes to mind.
Oh, really? I was gonna say the iFly car, so that's
or the Onyx Homes.
Exactly. Yeah, we're all getting a different answer, so I think Rusty's point there.
Yeah, because. I mean,
I like that paint scheme though because it reminds me of our drip from Fall Guys.
Oh, the neon like.
Yeah, I got that in general. If you want to pull it up, like all the neon colors and everything, because
first Fall Guys screenshot being shown on Shrimp Hours Presents.
Oh, the OG drip.
Yeah, because the team does that like paint scheme a lot.
We had the old names.
This was little hot Trackhouse does that a lot. They'll have a black and they'll have like a neon bright color on top of it, and it'll look sick as hell.
Yeah, we're all gonna now get sick from eating slimy little hot dogs.
I
miss
slimy little hot dog right there.
Man, I miss that era. That was such an era.
All right, that was Drip or Drown. Next up, we have the media check-in, and we got some stuff to talk about. NASCAR Rivals today unveiled their cover. Oh, by the time you're watching this, the gameplay video and / trailer will be out.
It'll be out. Yep.
So I guess you'll know then whether it looks good or bad.
Wednesday the 24th, you'll see gameplay.
Yeah, so
that
that'll
cover
be
was beautiful, by the way.
before this comes out.
Hey, shout out to Jason. He somehow stumbles into the podcast. Shout out to Jason. I love Jason. He's
the man.
The cover's
knocked it
hot.
out the park.
The cover's
knocked it
hot.
out the park.
That was a beautiful cover.
That's one.
I gotta hold on. Let me pull this up real quick. Talk about
You
something.
just made those.
because I
You
gotta,
just made those incredibly slight tweaks, which made it perfect. But it was otherwise like.
Listen,
great cover.
I'm very proud of my tweaks to the cover. I'll toot my own horn a little bit.
That tweet
but
you
it was
made about
beautiful.
that tweet you made about the 6 hours of changes you had to make to the F1
So
cover
that's
versus
what
the-
I'm getting at.
yes,
I'm gonna
yes,
put
what
that
makes this
beside
whole
the
deal.
F122 cover because that was probably one of the worst racing game
Exactly.
covers of all time. And yeah, hold on.
Listen, since Cody already bailed on the podcast, I gotta use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right
Oh
back.
my
That's-
It's just like,
god!
we gotta announce our. Like, oh my god.
You gotta put your hand up and ask the teacher for permission.
You could have just muted, and we never would have known.
Miss DT, can I go to the bathroom?
Nah, who cares? I'm announcing it to the world.
Dude, I'm saying, look at this.
So,
look
dude,
at this.
Look at how bad this F122 cover is. Just 3 dudes standing there looking at you weirdly.
Oh, awkwardly. Yeah, George looks
these
like that's the
dudes
first
look
time he's
like
ever
they're
seen
still
a
in
camera.
high school, and that guy on the right looks like he's high as fuck.
Yeah, I was gonna say George Russell looks like that's the first time he's ever seen a camera. It's like,
This
what is
Rivals
this?
cover is sick.
George Russell looks
Especially
like he's
with
eating bugs.
Easy cricket diet.
Eventually, the viewers are gonna start
on the
picking
left
up on
looks like he
bug
just
eating
like
jokes.
sharded himself, and he's like self-satisfied.
Lando,
And nobody
he's
else knows it yet.
Well, so I just don't understand. Like, we've talked about this for years. Why don't you put the race cars on the cover?
I don't know. Why are you making a racing game and not putting race cars on the cover? That's the first thing that any kid looks at a video game cover and they're like, "Oh, race cars, it's cool." Like, you have to know who these guys are, or at least what these logos mean to have any interest in this cover.
That's like an EA thing they started
motherfucker
doing.
on the right, dude.
That's like an EA thing they started doing, especially with football
It's
in
so
the last few years.
Way.
Instead of like having a football
Yeah.
action shot with them like in their full uniform and helmet, they just have like, oh, we're just gonna stand here, just look at the camera. And I think this the racing games all
Yeah,
started following
here's
suit.
Marshawn Lynch wearing a fucking polo shirt.
But this Rivals one is sick. You got cars, they're racing, you got dudes, there's action, you got everyone's kind of looking at Ross Chastain except for Kyle Busch, who's looking at the camera for some reason.
Dude, but how hot is the track setting?
I kind of like that. Like, Kyle Busch is like looking at you, and everybody else is like looking towards.
Slap,
Ross
did you
Chastain.
see my edit of this?
It works.
I did a quick I'm gonna toot my horn. I
The
did a
fact
quick
that's Kyle Busch. The fact that's Kyle Busch.
I'm sorry,
it does
Rusty.
kinda
I did a head swap on Kyle
You
Busch
fucked
to
the
make
neck.
him.
You fucked the neck, but like
He does look like he's got a bit of a.
He's got the fat Tony Stewart neck.
He's got a bit of a Ryan Newman neck.
The concept is good. I agree, but
He does have a bit of a Ryan Newman neck.
You may have fused a few vertebrae for that one.
Either way, the track setting's cute.
Dude,
even though
look
it
how
doesn't make sense.
It's beautiful.
That
Look at the
Logano's
cars.
What?
down
I'm
there
gonna
on
sound stupid. What's
Darlington.
the
Look at the front of Denny's car. Look at the detail on the front of Denny's car.
Is that
I'm just
Darlington?
saying.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, this is sick. Even seeing the outline of the like Lexan on the spoiler.
Shout out to the giant ass spoilers at Darlington.
Yeah, the actual like when you think about it, like why is Joey Logano down there driving up the hill at Darlington? But
just
it looks
Joey
great,
Logano
so it
thing.
doesn't
Why did he
matter.
take him
Joey
6
Logano,
wide to
yeah.
Indianapolis? Yeah.
All right,
Hashtag
that's all
just
I've
Joey
got
Logano.
for the NASCAR Rivals thing. Oh, the
Banger
not
though. Can we just say banger? Can we say
Banger.
Can we say
Banger.
banger?
That was
Banger.
banger.
yeah,
That
it's a
was
banger
great.
cover. Drip for sure.
Big drip.
F1 covers drown.
Yeah.
NASCAR's the USA NBC not Drive to Survive. What the hell is it called?
Race to the championship, I think. A race for the championship.
Sure, something like that. NASCAR Chase for the Cup.
There you go.
They're trying to make their own Drive to Survive. They put a trailer out. Cody, what are you doing?
I'm just getting this ready for when we do the
Oh,
crash segment. So I'm just getting it ready.
all right.
It's being prepared.
They put out some trailers for it, and it looks pretty bad. bad, I'll be honest. I do like that they're trying to do a reality show, because Drive to Survive has done so much for F1. I don't even know what season it's about. Is it about this season? This season's not over.
I think they're following this season, aren't they? Because it's about Brad. In the preview that we saw the other day, they asked Brad when he was in the pool looking like Matt DiBenedetto. They had him in there.
I didn't see that.
Oh, he was in the pool. Michael McDowell was there putting him on. No, he really wasn't.
Brad is in his backyard pool, and his wife is asking him how he feels being a team owner.
Yeah, it's kind of cringe in a way, and he basically just face palms, which is probably about how he really feels, to be honest.
Yeah, it was a really weird beat to include in the trailer for it, which is not a good sign.
Yeah.
Then again, I think of the original trailer for the Kevin James NASCAR crew show. The first trailer they put out for that was complete ass, but the actual show was passable.
Was it? Are you sure about that?
Who finished the season? I'm
saying
who finished
a single episode.
I finished. It wasn't great. It wasn't good content, but it was not as bad as the trailer, is what I'm getting at.
It was just entertainment. It was just kind of dumb entertainment.
Yeah,
it was
just
better than the trailer. It was. Yeah.
The trailer was, dude. They picked all of the worst jokes to put in that trailer. It was brutal.
Well, hey, going with low expectations, and it's like, oh.
Yeah, and then the show doesn't get picked up for season 2 because no one watched it.
So I got kind of 2 red flags for whatever this show is that's coming out. I saw the advertisement during the race. It's like at the bottom of like the end slate, it was like, make sure to set your DVR. And like,
who's your audience?
Like,
if you have a DVR, send us an email.
Dude, that was like,
that's brutal. I didn't see that.
That was the dead giveaway that this is. I'm sorry, but the other one that kind of pissed me off was they showed like a stage behind the scenes clip of Kyle Larson and his wife, and they're like in the kitchen or something, just doing like Kardashian. Like, that is the worst part of Drive to Survive, is when someone's just trying to eat dinner with their family, and their family is like, so what do you think about the position for the rest of the season in this racing thing? And it's like, let them eat, bro. You got the most badass fucking racers on the planet. Why the fuck are we showing them in their house? Like, doing forced content. Like, literally show them at the dirt track after he pulls off. Like, it's so dumb. It's so dumb.
Tell it to them.
I'm okay with seeing like their family life and their softer side, but when they force the like racing discussion into that, and like you said, it's just forced content. It's just not good. Anyway,
so how do you feel about being an owner and a driver, honey?
That's what it was. Yeah.
I'm sorry for the rant. I just had to get that off my chest.
Beautiful.
We might have to watch party this thing. Someone set their DVR. All right. Media check-in. Has anyone enjoyed anything recently? Didn't mean to word it that bad. What weird game are you playing, Slap?
No, it's not a game. House of the Dragon.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so I actually read the book Fire and Blood, so I know where this is going. And I was a little bit nervous at first because in the like trailers and everything, they weren't really talking about a whole lot. They were talking about different characters, and they kind of like they prefaced some of these characters in some weird spots. But then as the first episode came around, I was like, oh, I know what they're doing. They're taking the long road here. So I know exactly where this story is going, and it's gonna get nutty as it goes further on. I'll just call it the dance. The dance at the end is gonna be fucking crazy. It's greenlit for at least 2 or 3 seasons, I know.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I don't know if the dance is going to be the first season or the first 2 seasons, or if they're going to have other stuff like the Blackfire Rebellions in the 3rd season and all that. But this is going to be really fun if you're a Game of Thrones fan.
If Slap just spoiled this TV show for you, send us an email.
I did not. The dance and the Blackfire Rebellions is you know, amorphic enough that you don't really know what the fuck I'm talking about.
All right.
I thought everybody hated Game of Thrones. Now all of a sudden everybody's back on Game of Thrones.
No, season 8 sucked dick, but now we're doing it. But hey, seasons 1 through 5 had George R.R. Martin, the author, heavily involved, and then they kind of booted him out, and they let the D&D, the showrunners, like do their own thing, and they fucked it. Well, George R.R. Martin is heavily involved with this prequel show, and he said this is a faithful adaptation of the book, Fire and Blood. So this should be a banger. Give it some time to, it's a slow burn, but it'll pay off. I promise.
I saw a little preview trailer on YouTube. Apparently he hired people in advance before the show was even purchased or signed onto. So he was picking the right people to make it a banger.
Yeah, he was picking actors before he even had the deal signed by HBO.
Even the writers, producers, and everything, it sounded like he just had the whole thing kind of mapped out. He was doing the long game with this one. So I hear you on that.
Yeah, a lot of the directors were from some of his favorite episodes of the original one of Game of Thrones. And so
bangers of 5,
yeah, so he called them in and was like, "Hey, do you want to do this prequel show? I'm going to pitch it to HBO," and it got picked up. So it should be really fucking good. That first episode was awesome.
All right. Any video games, other shows?
No video games, but I gotta give a quick shout out. While I was cleaning the house today, I listened to both Tim Dillon's and Bill Burr's new Netflix stand-up specials, which are both hilarious. That Bill Burr one in particular is and he filmed it at Red Rocks in Colorado, which is that huge outdoor theater built into the mountain, so it was really spectacular visually.
Cool.
If you're any stand-up fans, shout out. That's 2 good listens.
Yeah, I want to check out that Bill Burr one.
All right, next up on the list, it's time for fan mail.
Fan mail.
I'm gonna get Ben to make us a fan mail theme song. We do have to pick up last week though, because someone asked us to show our favorite diecasts. So I got everyone to get their favorite diecasts out. I'm gonna start because it's very simple for me because I only have 2. I'm not a big diecast guy, but these were both $5 in the friggin' Daytona tents, and I have a 2003 Biffle Granger because his car looks sick with the gradient, and this paint scheme is way ahead of its time. And this is one of the nice old ones with you can turn the wheels, you can open the hood, before they're all trashed. And I have an 07 David Rudiman Burger King, because this is the car that as a child I would race all the time in NASCAR 08. And it's not quite as good quality as the 16 car, but as soon as I saw it, I was like, I have to have it. Because as a kid, just seeing the 00, the flames, the big old BK, I was like, hell yeah, that was my thing. I could probably crashed that car 1 billion times in that game on PS2.
I think I did the same thing before his domino scheme in that game.
I did use the Domino's one sometimes, but the Burger King one really spoke to me.
That 00 was always so hot though. That one always that car in general. That was a good one.
Yeah, especially on the Gen 4.
Who wants to go next?
Cody. DT, you want to do mine? Okay, go ahead, Cody. Do mine last.
Do his last. Got my little Tony Stewart. Where's the glare? Yeah, major glare there. But little 2019 sprint car that I actually
forgot to make my
autographed.
Big
when
oops.
I briefly met him when he came to Wilmot Raceway in Wisconsin for the Circuit of Champions in, I believe, July of 2020.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was wandering around the pits. I saw him. He's like, "Oh, sweet, there's smoke." Just walked up to him. He's like, "Hey, you mind signing this?"
Hey, yo, I'm not back yet.
And that's one of maybe 5 autographed diecasts that I have. So, and that's probably the highest tier driver that I have an autograph from. So, shout out my smoke car.
Ed, do you want me to pull yours up?
Oh,
he's dead. Damn. All right, Slap. What do you got?
Slappy.
Slap.
I think Ed went for that pee break.
So I got the 1998 Jeff Burton.
Yeah, with the foil.
Foil there on the side. Can't really see because my camera's a piece of shit.
Those are all
don't
the cars of my
know
childhood.
How bad I want Harrison Burton to run this thing with the foil and everything on a proper throwback.
This
God,
is
we
like
need
the
the
legit
foil.
one too. It's got the hood that pops open and everything. It's all metal.
Mine doesn't have a trunk.
You want to know how much I paid for this over at Nashville?
$2.
10.
10. Ah, damn.
With the trunk and everything.
Hey, the other one, the Kevin Harvick 2015 Busch Light scheme.
Yeah. Not a real throwback, but still looks good.
The best scheme you ever ran, man.
Ooh.
All right, Russell.
Paid $22 for that on eBay.
Well, real quick, I gotta throw back Kevin Harvick right here.
Oh.
Okay, right, look at it. Right here. Just casually sitting on my desk. So since we're focused on me, every time I go to like the racetrack and like go on one of these trips, either personally or with the company, I'm like, what can I bring back for my kid? And like, at this point in the show, it's like, it's gotten to the point where it's pretty much going to be a diecast car. It's going to be a diecast car. So this weekend, we were at Gateway, and there's just IndyCar at the track. So I purchased a couple IndyCar diecasts, and I got kind of excited because when I was in Indianapolis for the 500 and became the biggest like Indy 500 fan, bandwagon fan of all time, right?
Changed your life. So you talked about this.
Yeah, it changed my life. Yeah. So when I was there, I bought him this Herta diecast. I was like, this, like, I thought the car looked kind of like just the paint scheme, like was kind of eye catching. It's just, it was kind of a good looking car. Out of the selection at that time, I was like, I kind of settled for the Herta. But at Gateway, they had the whole field.
Ooh.
And I kind of was debating in my head, what do I want to get? So if I'm thinking based off his preference, he likes the neon cars, he likes the ones that pop. So I went with, to start, I got two. To start, I went with the Pato Award.
Yeah.
It's way more neon in person. Like when you get it under natural light, the orange actually pops. So I was trying to think to myself, like, do I get the Pato Award or do I get the Rosenquist with the blue on the side? But like, I felt like this one was kind of sharp. And the one to bring it home, it's an older diecast, it's an older paint scheme. He's like obsessed with like the older Ryan Blaney. He calls it the cool car, the neon yellow. So I bought him an old Simon Pagino. It's actually neon in person. It looks like dog shit on the cam.
I'll be honest, it looks brutal on the cam.
It looks like doo doo, but in person it's neon. So I got him the two brightest cars at the track, and
all right.
So long story short, I gave him these cars, and I'm like, what do you like more? Do you like these Indy cars, or do you like the NASCAR diecast, like the one? And he picked these guys. He says these cars look fast. He said they look like fast cars.
Yeah, I'll give him that.
So I think part of it is I did a FaceTime, and I was right up at the fence at the track, like doing like putting the, I don't know.
Oh,
he said it was cool. So my 4-year-old boy is picking the Indy car over the Cup car is like cool looking diecast. So that's my story.
That's cool. I like the wholesome Rusty stories.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I also just realized our green screens are like lined up again. Like it like goes like off mine and like down onto yours. Ed, how's your pee break?
It went very well. That actually was I'm gonna go grab more Truly break if I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, all right, understandable. Ed has submitted his favorite diecast on video.
Yes, I have. This is a video that I put on the Sound Entertainment channel. Like how many years ago? When is this uploaded from?
April 2019.
Yes, this is like ancient history to me now.
A little over 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's my favorite one. This is the big surprise.
Hit that like button. There you go.
How to do it to him. Yeah, Brad Keselowski 2009 Talladega race win thing with all the little decals and everything. It looks cute. Look at that.
I want a Carl Edwards race version of that of his car.
I'm sure customs of it exist.
Dude, you would not believe
the
how
real
hard
one
it is to find a Claritin. You need to get like a custom made pretty much. Because those Claritin cars just don't exist. They never made them, I don't think.
Yeah, because that's the only race he ran them in, right?
And especially the 124s. I think I found a few 164s. But yeah, the 124s.
Well, here, I'll talk a little bit more about car real quick, just so I'll wrap it up. Yeah, I love this. This is my like favorite one in my whole collection. It's probably the most expensive one in my whole collection too at this point, because everybody, if you look at this car on eBay, it's like a dogfight every time one of them actually comes up.
Will you say how much you paid for it?
It was pre 2019, so I don't exactly remember, but it was multiple hundreds of dollars. I know that for a fact.
God damn.
So I would say like 3 or 4 probably was an accurate number. And now they sell, I don't know what they sell for now because I haven't looked in a little while, but I know that for a while there they were selling crazy amounts, especially if it had the autograph on it, which a lot of them did for some reason. But I didn't get that one. I'll get an autograph myself one day or something.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to the Implement video. If you watch NASCAR long enough, everything comes full circle.
That was weird. Basically, I remember where I was when that happened.
Me too. I remember.
Dude, I was like sitting on the couch with my dad was in the recliner. We're eating some Zaxby's chicken.
And dude, I was eating KFC with my parents. What the fuck?
And then they like come around the final corner through the tri-oval, and like me and my dad, our jaws were like on the floor. Like, did that just happen? Like, yeah. And then like it like kind of clicked for me. Like, Brad won. Brad Keselowski won. Hell yeah.
Brad Keselowski won this race.
Dude, yeah, I remember exactly where I was watching that. And likewise, the previous day, the Aaron's 312, where Kenseth took that weird ass tumble down the backstretch. I remember vividly.
Oh yeah, where he like overcorrected and like the
get back on those wheels. Yeah,
flipped.
I think it was on that new pavement that was just really gripped up, and when he hooked it back to the right, he just grip flipped it. But
yeah,
I remember vividly. I was at the time I was on the phone with my at the time girlfriend, and like when that happened, I was like, could you just repeat what you said? Sorry, I did not hear you for like the last 30 seconds. Sorry.
Babe, I'm watching NASCARs. All right, let's read some emails. We got some emails this week. Shout out to everyone that sent us emails. Do you have something you want to say?
What about the crash of the week?
Oh, do you have one? Oh yeah, you have one. You set that up and everything. All right, let's take a look.
The crash isn't insanely spectacular, but I also just want to have an excuse to show off the beautiful visuals of a corn fest.
Regroup and re-rack up and try this one again.
Look at this. Look at the midway in the background with all the rides going.
Oh
yeah, that's hot. That's hot.
And the sunset.
Yeah, nice.
That's not how it's done.
And then yeah, this is the dash race to
the old 5 cars.
It's just the top 10 do 2 little quick races, and this is what sets the final top 10 running order for the.
You tell me they wrecked in a 5-car race?
Oh yeah, he hit pretty hard too.
Oh!
No!
Jesus.
Rusty, Jesus Christ. It wasn't that bad.
Rusty, my ears, man.
And yes, he was
Captain Jim's yacht sales.
Check this out. He got this thing repaired for the main, and like while they were like getting it towed, he's like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna head back to the pits to be as ready as possible." So yeah, he just sprinted all the way back to the pits.
You filmed him the whole way back?
Oh shoot. Yeah, the entire way back. Then one last pan back over the beautiful visuals of the midway. Look at that sunset.
Dude, a little sunset? Yeah, this is awesome.
Sky and the fair.
Shout out Cornfest.
Where's this at?
Angel Park Speedway. And then like in the fairgrounds. Or not really fairgrounds.
Where's that? Where's Angel Park Speedway?
Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, just outside of Madison.
Wisconsin.
All right,
that's cool.
The crash of the week.
It's called Cornfest. I'm expecting this to be in Iowa.
Yeah, honestly.
Rusty, you all right?
Yeah, I probably woke up the whole. Yeah.
He rallied.
He's getting a text for that one.
Yeah, I'm checking my phone right now.
I think his mic peaked.
I think my ears peaked.
All right. Well, when he turned right, I thought we were gonna see a fatality. You guys never warned me when somebody dies.
Like, yeah, that was almost the death segment right there.
Dude, I'm not gonna show anyone where anyone's getting hurt.
Dude, I don't know. That one week.
All right.
Like deadass, it looked worse than some of the flips we've seen.
We got 6 emails this week. Got Devin who wrote an email. County Line Films submitted a hotel, but there weren't a lot of photos on Google, so we're not going to go through it all. But he says, after watching the hotel segment from episode 5, which is probably one of the best segments of all time, I figured this was worth mentioning. Having stayed in Fleabag hotels myself, here's the worst hotel I've ever stayed at. Sunset Inn and Suites, Lincoln, Nebraska. Look at it on Google if you got time. Keegan Brown writes in, all right, you bums, simple question. What each you think is the best and the worst track in the current Cup Series schedule? Yeah, I don't know if I can off the top of my head pick one.
The best track with
worst
the
track.
next gen car would probably be Charlotte.
Yeah, we talking racing wise, facility wise, just overall. Like
I think
I would say racing.
just this year with
Okay.
this car, I would say Charlotte is definitely up there.
Okay, but if you're gonna say this year with this car, then Martinsville's on par for the worst.
No, I
That's
was there.
fair.
Fuck y'all.
Texas is definitely the worst.
Texas is the worst. I was there, and it was the fucking worst.
Anywhere
I
with
don't
a
know.
flip, anywhere that had a flip was a 10 out of 10. Though we all agree on
All
that.
right, so Charlotte, best track because someone
There you
flipped. All right, next up, Andrew Rollison writes in. He says, "Evening, all y'all. At Sandown this weekend for the Supercars race, we have Legends Cars 86 Racing, including that awesome save that we talked about on Twitter. Porsche 911 GT3 Cup, Super 2, which is the Supercars supporting series, and Super 3, and the Supercars. And this is something that we've talked about because we've sort of dabbled into watching Supercars. They squeeze so many races into those weekends, and it's so awesome." And Andrew asks, what would be you perfect undercard for a NASCAR Cup Series weekend, and is Trucks and Xfinity good enough? And I say no, they could definitely squeeze more races in there, man. I feel like it's basically what they did at Indy. I can't believe NASCAR is like there's like an ARCA race and an Xfinity race on Saturday. Friday's like just trucks usually, and then Sunday's like just Cup. Supercars all 3 days, they pack the schedule, tons of racing, and they'll squeeze them close together where like if there's a big wreck in the 86 race and it's going to take too long to clean up, they're done. They got another race the next day. It doesn't matter. They move on to the next series. There's always stuff going on, and I really want to go to a Supercars weekend. And I really think, I mean, I guess there aren't a lot of series that NASCAR could like squeeze in on a weekend.
I floated this idea out with a coworker of mine. If we were just going to do like stock car racing, back before Myrtle Beach kicked the bucket, the idea was like, let's have Cup Series, Xfinity, and Trucks at Darlington, and let's throw the Cars Tour and ARCA down at Myrtle Beach because it's only like 30 minutes away. 30, 45 an hour, minute, whatever away. It's not that far. So you can double dip with like all these people, you know, Friday night, Saturday night, and then Sunday night of Labor Day, and you got all this time to work with, and you could literally have like every major stock car series in the Southeast there for like one weekend at two different tracks. They're pretty much on top of each other. If you were going to do if you wanted IMSA or hell, even IndyCar or something like that, Road America, or I'm sorry, Road Atlanta. You could do Road Atlanta, do the Cup Series down there in like October or something, Xfinity Series, have that be the ARCA East finale, do IMSA as a Petit Le Mans, and
literally across the street from Road Atlanta is Lanier. The little dinky little oval.
It literally is like on the other side of the street.
Yeah.
Get some
Like
short
you
track
could throw the Cars Tour over there, Trucks,
Legends Cars.
modified.
Stack it. I would love if someone just
modified.
stacked a ton of stuff on a weekend. I feel like we don't really like have that in North America.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if you fucking did that for like, you know, the first weekend of October, like Oktoberfest at Road Atlanta.
Yeah.
And you just had like IMSA down there. You had NASCAR, Xfinity, Trucks, ARCA East, Cars Tour, and you had some Legends cars come down there to a Lanier for a preliminary race, some street stock races. You know, we have the Mass Series, the Mid-Atlantic Street Stock Series. They have some street stocks down there running around and stuff like that. Would be badass.
Yeah, playing
Absolutely.
to your point, I mean, it feels like the only way you can get like crossover of like unlimited series is to either run a road course or run like a really small short track. So I feel like if they played towards that, they could get like any series in the world to like kind of be a companion series.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, NASCAR runs well, not as many mile and a halves as they used to, or 2 milers plus, but like recently they've been doing like the road tracks, and I feel like they could play into that more.
I mean, Charlotte's got all three. They got an intermediate, a road course, and the short track on the front stretch.
Right. Yeah.
They got the dirt track too.
Oh yeah.
And the
Charlotte's the ultimate
dragway.
facility.
Yeah, and the drag strip.
All right.
That's what I'm
next
saying. Like
question.
All-Star Race weekend, have the Cup Series Saturday night. Set the time, set qualifying position by the time trials at the dragway. Have a sprint car race there on dirt. You know, you go fucking crazy with it. You got all these facilities. You could do this at Vegas too. Vegas has a short track, dirt track, the big 1.5 mile track. They have the dragway. I mean, you could do all kinds of crazy shit if you wanted to.
Chicagoland had that whole setup too, but
Or
Indianapolis Raceway Park. They have a dragway. They got the short track, got the big track. I mean,
they have the dirt track in the big track.
If you want to get crazy and have like every major American touring series like show up at one track, you could totally fucking do it.
Yeah. I need it's like I'm imagining like the Motorstorm festival of like American racing, like just tents lining the hills,
NHRA,
just this place is popping.
IndyCar, IMSA, NASCAR, all in one place for like a 2-week stretch or something.
We need like this some super event like that. That'd be incredible. Yeah. All right. Next question comes in, or next fan mail comes in from Brian. He says, "Hi, it's Brian again. What's the best race you have ever been to?" I think Rusty's is the Indy 500, according to reports.
No, I mean
Daytona
that
500
was an event.
this year for me.
Daytona 500 this year was pretty damn cool.
Let me think.
I don't know if I could pick a best singular race. Because I've seen some CTMP bangers, dude. But that whole like Daytona like week-long experience definitely tops it. But that was a whole bunch of different tracks.
yeah, I got like 3 answers.
All right.
I got a 2021 Prairie Dirt Classic last year. The race at Fairbury Speedway, the Crown Jewel World of Outlaws late model race that had an epic battle between Bobby Pierce and Kyle Larson, where they're just throwing sliders on each other like every other corner.
Hell yeah.
2019 Indy 500 with Pagano and I believe Rossi going back and forth. Yeah. Just swapping the lead like every other lap in those like closing 10-15 laps. And like this is gonna be a controversial answer just because of the bad wreck at the end of the race, but no one wants to talk about how good the racing was up until that point. The 2020 Daytona 500. Such a good race. Just racing wise.
Look, that's loud.
Yeah, everyone just remembers the Newman wreck at the end, but I mean, just they had so many passes because that was like the peak just suck era with the Gen 6 Super Speedway cars.
Yeah.
Where they had so much draft, and as you got behind someone, you just slingshot them instantly.
All right.
Can I add another one?
Sure.
I thought of another one. There was a truck race at Talladega last October where Tate Fogelman won like the stupidest way possible. Remember at the end of that thing?
Oh yeah. Shout out to Tate Fogelman.
That's probably the most like excitable I've been at the end of a race ever in person. That was insane.
I would have to say, I'm aging myself here. 1995 All-Star race. This is the first NASCAR race I ever went to. I was 5 years old. And
wow.
And the race was a banger. Guys are going like back and forth. As the race starts to close towards the end, here's Darrell Waltrip. Hasn't won a race in 3 years. Here's Dale Earnhardt. And Darrell Waltrip tries to go to the outside on him. And Dale goes full throttle, and they crash both themselves going out of turn 4. A huge crash right in front of me.
Oh, that's the one where he pancaked Darrell coming out of the turn 4.
Yeah, Jeff Gordon is just like hanging back, just like letting this thing happen. He goes flying by him, ends up winning the race and all that. And as a 5-year-old kid, I was fucking sold. I was like, dude, this is the greatest thing ever. I'm a NASCAR fan for life.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right. Next fan mail comes in from Benjamin Branscombe. And Ben writes in, "Hey guys, hope y'all are well. Just wanted to say I really love the podcast. And it's a shame this is the last one. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Indeed.
Every episode is the last episode.
Don't tell them that.
Special.
If they
This
only
one's
knew
the
how
last
it-
one.
Yeah.
This is really deep.
He says, I was curious about y'all's favorite automotive or racing themed shows, movies, or anything like that. From Ben. Thanks, Ben.
Disney Pixar's Cars 1.
Is Pimp
Honestly,
My Ride
I
an
mean-
acceptable answer?
Is what?
Pimp My Ride. Shout out the early 2000s days of MTV.
X to the Z exhibit. Shout out.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if I have.
Oh, I
theme
got
song just popped in my head.
one. Ford versus Ferrari.
Oh,
Dude, with Matt Damon, Christian Bale. I mean, they told the story like pretty much perfect. Because I first heard the story on Wind Tunnel with Dave Despain, and he told the story of that rivalry between Henry Ford III and Enzo Ferrari and all that. And I thought that was a great story, and then they actually brought it to life on film, and it was
really well.
it was
done.
amazing.
I did have to look past my Auto Club Speedway track knowledge.
Yes,
That's
the Auto
what
Club
kills it.
24
That kills the whole
hours of
thing.
Daytona. I was like, why? Why did you do this?
But
That
when
kills the whole movie.
when I looked past that scene was excellent.
Nah.
I just remember being kind of disappointed with the ending.
Well, I mean,
Not just because of what happens, but I don't know. I feel like it didn't hit that hard.
They couldn't rent out Daytona for like a day. Come on.
No, you
Yeah,
have to fly all
seriously,
your
you-
shit to Florida.
All
lot of
that
the-
money, you couldn't at least like Photoshop the walls to not be blue. Like you can't even do that much.
A lot of the Talladega scenes and Talladega Nights were filmed at Rockingham.
Yeah.
On that topic though, that reminds me of how good of a movie Rush is, as one of those like
And band. Sorry. Sorry.
as one of those sort of bio drama movies.
Boo. Hold on a minute. We gotta boo that. What just happened right there?
Absolutely. How dare you?
Let him up in the comments.
The Limelight is goated, by the way.
You guys are all wrong.
Anyways,
Nah, I
Rush
love
is a good
Rush.
movie. Big fan. Watch that one in theaters. Sweet.
Good band.
All right, last fan mail question
Still real to me, damn it.
comes in from Shlomo. Are we doing Shlomo? It says slow motion fan mail. Hey Shrimps, it's your boy Shlomo. How's it been? For my question, if you can get rid of one fan base from across motorsports, which one would it be, and why would it be Chase Elliott fans?
Chase Elliott.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
There was a lot of
without
back and
saying.
forths on Twitter this week. I saw from Chase fans.
Yeah, nobody needs a Chase fan in life. Come on, that's just true.
I mean, yeah, you're right. It definitely in the NASCAR side of thing, I would say Chase fans. But dude, I feel like F1 Twitter is way worse. The animals I see in the replies of like Lewis versus Max stuff on F1 stuff, it is like insanely bad. Most notably the Lewis fans. There are good Lewis fans. Unlike Chase Elliott fans, where there aren't really any good Chase Elliott fans, but the really bad Lewis fans are really bad.
Agree.
If you're a Chase Elliott fan, sorry, make better decisions. All right, that's all the fan mail this week.
Wash your hands, ladies and gentlemen.
We will accept no dissenting opinions for that piece at all.
Nope.
We've gone.
Wait, that's it?
Yeah. Hit
That's
the button.
it?
No, yeah.
It's
drop
been
the
over
mic.
an
Bet your
hour.
ass. You
No
bet your
Caleb?
ass.
No Caleb?
No Caleb this week.
There's no
got
Caleb this
fired.
week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's next week. It's next week.
fired.
I fired him.
So Caleb did
quit.
put in his 2 weeks, and he said he's gonna get some kind of a McDonald's finale for the next episode.
He's
Just a
blowing
shame
the
that
place up.
this is the last episode, so it won't happen.
Wash your hands, folks.
Wash your damn hands,
Wash
even if it's cold. Temperature
Even if
is
it's
not
cold.
an excuse.
You're not gonna get a hypothermia in 40 degrees.
It's
washing your
literally not a
hands.
thing.
Fucking animal.
Hey, people have had hypothermia at like as little as 60 degrees.
Shut
What?
the fuck up.
Well, yeah,
Just
those,
wash
those,
your hands.
those
You're not gonna
lame-ass
get
losers are probably from South Carolina, too.